Good morning. So, today I thought we'd watch the sunrise, but I also was thinking about something that happened to me. Well, it's been many years now, but it's about this guy who was a real jerk. So I thought maybe I'd share that with you guys. I'm sure in the last couple months you've gone to the store, and with COVID and everything else going on, that there's been some people who have been, I don't know, less than patient and have probably plucked your nerves, who probably you would deem as crazy and annoying. So this is a story about a guy like that. It was many, many years ago, and I was traveling a lot for work at the time, and I was coming back from San Diego, and I was exhausted. It was like one of those days where I was just like close to tears, kind of like where if you were a toddler, you probably would throw yourself on the ground and kick and scream and just throw a fit because you were just so tired you couldn't even deal with it. That's kind of how I felt. And so I was really honestly looking forward to this nonstop flight home from San Diego back to Maryland. And so I was getting on the plane, and I got a window seat, which was like basically dreamy because I was going to be able to actually rest my head and take a good nap. And as I'm sitting there, this guy gets on the plane, and he's coming down the aisleway, and he's purposely being a jerk. I mean, like, he's going out of his way to be a jerk. He's saying to people, like, he'll reach over to a woman and he'll kind of like pluck at her and go, huh, nice hairstyle. Where'd you get that? In the 60s? I mean, purposely being a jerk to the airline attendants, to the people in the airline, to the people in their seats, to pretty much everybody. And I was thinking, God, what a jerk. I mean, like, why would he go out of his way to be such a jerk? And I was thinking, thank God I'm going to be able to sleep. But no, he comes on down the aisle, and yeah, lo and behold, you got it, you guessed. He sits down next to me. And not only that, he says that he would prefer to have the window seat, and could he have that? And so I'm now sitting in the center seat, which really was mine, but I was hoping nobody would show up for that window seat. And he's sitting in my window seat, and I know I'm not going to get a great nap. And I'm sitting next to a jerk, and I'm not happy about it. So we start talking, and within, I would say, a half hour or so, what I really discovered is that man was a jerk. Yes, he really was. But he was a jerk because he was a Vietnam veteran, and he was terrified. He was, for the very first time, he was going to D.C., and he was going to meet his children so that he could go to the Vietnam memorial. And he was scared. And it kind of honestly gets me a little choked up just thinking about it, because this man was so scared because he felt like he was going to go meet his comrades in war, and the people that he had let down, and the people that he had left behind. And he had to go face them and tell them why he has lived and they have not. And it was terrifying to him. And so he was lashing out by being a jerk. So we spent the rest of that plane ride, and it was a long plane ride. It's a long ways from San Diego to Maryland, with me holding his hand and him crying and him telling me his whole life story and how his wife was an invalid at home and couldn't come with him even though he wanted her to, and how he had had all kinds of PTSD, and twice he had woken up underneath his car with a gun in his hand, aiming it at his neighbor's house. And it terrified him that one day he really would do something stupid and hurt somebody. And that's not what he wanted. He was actually a very kind man, and he didn't want to hurt people. And so I guess, the whole point of the story is that I try to remember this when I meet those jerks in the grocery store who want to get ahead of me in line, or have 20 items in the 10 items or less line, is that I don't know what's going home with them and what they're facing when they go home and why they're jerks. Because most likely there is some reason. And so I try to think of that man, and I don't even remember his name. I spent 5 hours on a plane with him. But he truly did change my life. And I thank him for that. And I hope he's doing okay. And I hope that when he did get to that Vietnam memorial that things went well for him. And that he left there feeling okay and feeling that his comrades in war told him it was okay. Life was going to be okay, and he deserved to live, and they were glad that he was. So that's my story for the day, and I'm going to leave you guys to see the sunrise, and I'll just be quiet for a few minutes. Maybe I'll pan around a little bit so you can kind of see it, but I think the official sunrise time is 6:11. I'm not sure what time it is right now, but it's usually the best about a half